Hi, everyone, and welcome to another live episode of One Story. Today, we will have a very special guest joining us very shortly, so just stay tuned while we get her on. Thank you for joining. I see a few of you. Hi, how are you? Hello, welcome, Shauna.
Hey.
Okay, everybody that's watching today, we have Shauna with us today. She will be talking about survivorship after cancer. Welcome and thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you very much.
Well, I've been following you for some time now, and I just want to tell you thank you for sharing your journey with me and with the world. You've been dealing with cancer for several years now, with remission kind of in between. But for the people that are not following you just yet, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your story the last couple of years and what you've been through?
Yes, so it starts back in 2015. My husband had actually found it. It was in my left breast, breast cancer. We caught it at a very early stage in 2015. And then if we fast forward to 2018 was my second recurrence. And that was locally also in my breast as well. It hadn't spread anywhere else. I did chemo, surgery, radiation that year. Fast forward again to last year, April 2022, my second recurrence. Then now stage 3C, it had spread into my armpit and into my collarbone and neck area. Incurable this time around, unfortunately.
Yes, I remember you telling me that. I personally didn't know what to say to that, and but I know that I do follow you, and I just keep seeing that big smile on your face. So I just, I know we're told by doctors, you have cancer, and you're told, what the urgency is. But I'm a big believer of like, we're still here, and that's why I really wanted you to be on here because there's other people probably in your same situation, and I just want them to see that it hasn't been just 1 year that you've been fighting this, it's been years that you've been fighting this. So whatever they've been telling you or not, you're a fighter and you're here, and I think we all have that fight in us. And honestly, just thank you for sharing that strength with us that you've been going through. I've actually read quite a few stories about people that say they're two-time cancer survivors, three-time cancer survivors. But again, I'm speechless because I can't even begin to imagine that. I was, just told once. And to be honest, I don't think I've even, really just took it all in yet. I'm kind of just going through the emotions and just trying to live my best life and do what is right to keep me living longer. But you were told 3 different times you have cancer. And it was after you thought you had beat it, right? And, can you tell us a little bit about that, from your own experience? Like, how was it to be told the first time? And was it different the first time compared to the second and the third?
Yeah, of course. The first time, I don't think anyone ever forgets the moment you get that phone call. And I remember in 2015, they called me and they're like, "Hey, it came back positive." And I'm just like, wow. I cried. I called my husband. He was the first person I called. And it's devastating, obviously, to get the diagnosis. And I, for me, I guess it was really, really hard at first, but then talking with my team and them saying like, hey, it's fairly early stage, that it was very good. So I ended up being positive after that. And the second time and the third time, definitely more in depth of the intensity of it, because it's like, wow, that second time it came back and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I thought, this was put behind us. I thought the chapter was closed in my life and in life. And so, yeah, it was a pretty hard second blow, and then the third time was just like kind of like sealed the deal. It's like, what is going on? So it's been, yes, very, very, very hard. Each time more difficult.
Yeah. Honestly, when I hear these stories, to me, it's just like heartbreaking. I think it like really hits home just because like I'm currently going through it, and I think I love using the word challenging because I never want to say it's difficult. I don't want to say it's like hard because it's like I think you can always do more and push and be stronger. I really do believe everybody has so much strength in them, but I do definitely say it's challenging. And to me, I'm still going through it. So to me, when I hear your story and hear other people that they did the same challenge, and then, obviously you come out of it a little bit weaker, right? So every time you come into a new challenge, you're, coming in a little bit weaker to it, right? So now you did a second time, third time. So to me, it's just like heartbreaking to know that, not only did you go through, something similar to me, the chemo and the radiation and things like that, but you went through it again and again, and physically and mentally, it is draining. And you've gone through this for, years, since 2015. But I also know you have three beautiful girls, and they're all different ages, and they're still babies, you have a very loving husband as well. And with all of that, we all know what it is to, have life given to you. You have, everyday tasks, right, that we have to complete. But on top of that, you have your health to deal with, doctors. You still have to be a mom and have family time and dinners and cleaning and, just everything. First, like never end. How have you been doing it for 8 years? How have you balanced it all? Like, can you tell me your top three things that has helped you in the past or that are just currently helping you right now to just, navigate this journey that you're in?
Yeah, so I cling very much. My number one thing that we've talked about before is my support system. My family, my husband, my girls, the breast cancer community, they have really, really been a very deep anchor that I anchor myself to. Um, I've also I know this might sound weird for some people, but like the adaptability aspect of it too is because we're faced with such a challenge, like you had said. And I think the willingness of us to be able to free flow, kind of like water. I always say free flow like water, against these challenges. It makes it slightly easier approached, I think. And then my third one would be my yoga practice. I really lean a lot into that. It's helped me learn a lot about myself and how I deal with things. And I can take what I've learned on the mat and bring it into my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned adaptability. And if someone's listening today, I think, whether you're dealing with really hard struggles or maybe just like a hectic day, right? Like I never really thought about it until I talked to you about it, the adaptability. I think when you're going through tough times, you either rise to the occasion or you push through it and things like that. But then sometimes you go back to your lows, right? So you have highs and lows, and you push yourself, you have another high. But if you figure out early on, right, that you have to be adaptable, like if you approach it a little bit more in that sense, like I think if I would have gotten this message from you before, I think I would have been like, oh, you know what, let me think about this. There's something to this, and not seeing so much as I need to give it all my all and fight. Like, no, I think be saying, hey, you know what? Let me be more adaptable to things. Let me, just kind of go with the flow a little bit, and because you really don't know what's going to happen the next day, right? So if you really go on full force and try to, say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and it doesn't happen that way, it could also be crushing and debilitating, right? But if you're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be adaptable, whatever's thrown my way, whatever the doctor tells me the next day, everything's gonna be okay, and then we'll just handle it when it comes our way, right? So again, thank you for mentioning that, because again, I think that's something that could be helpful for anybody, even if they're not really going through even health issues, but just a hard day. Like, just be adaptable today, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not the end of the world. Trust us, And some people were told that we're gonna have the end of the world, but
Yeah.
we're still here. So just go with it, like you said. Just flow with it, So thank you for that. You also mentioned support system.
Yeah.
And you said that was your top, and I completely agree with that. Yes, my support system has been amazing, but I also know that it has changed for me throughout the years. My health journey did start kind of around the same time you did, 2015. It wasn't cancer, but it was other health issues. And I've noticed I've had past surgeries and, physical therapy, and then, cancer, and obviously just life happens, right? And you don't feel good. And throughout the years, I've had to use different support systems, right? Like counseling and, just doctors and physical therapy. Like, my resources have had to change as the years have gone, depending on what I was going through. So for you, that you've been dealing with cancer for so long, have you seen some type of change as well in your support system, like where you had to look for other resources, or is it kind of stayed the same?
So yeah, I would say in the beginning, it was I didn't reach out as much as I do now. So it definitely has changed in that aspect. Now I currently reach out to the breast cancer community, and also I have taken advantage of the resources that the medical and hospital facilities offer, because I think mental health is extremely very important when you're going through this. It's very heavy. You have a lot to deal with. So yeah, I would definitely say I lean a lot more heavily on that. And I encourage anyone, because I feel like at first a lot of people don't want to reach out because it's like a very personal and private thing, right? But I feel like if they do extend themselves to reach out for that help, it really makes a really big difference.
And I know that the support system, looks different to like everybody, correct? Just
Right.
depending what they need.
Yeah.
Like you said, the first step is like just being open to it, right? Because you are told, whatever bad news or whatever is just hard, right? And you choose to automatically kind of maybe go into survival mode. I think I've heard that a lot from people, where they just kind of stay to themselves. I know I did that for many years as well. And, the support system, like you said, there's different types, right? What would you say to what a good, healthy support system looks like for you? What
For
qualities and stuff? Yeah.
for me, so I genuinely appreciated those people who would check in on me, and it didn't necessarily have to be that they were physically able to do anything for me, but like just checking in and being like, hey, how are you feeling today? You don't have to reply if you're too tired, just letting you know I love you. um, Things like that, that really went a long way for me.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. And again, you are going to miss out on that support system, on those well wishes, right? If they're not even aware of it. And it does make a difference. Like, I didn't really realize how much of a difference it made. I just started being open about it during my cancer journey, but I wasn't open about my other health journeys and other surgeries I've had, and other, like, debilitating things I've gone through that were really hard. And now, oh my God, just getting that little message, um, you know, it does put a smile on my face. And, then it comes again and again. And then I'm just like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
it does something. It warms my heart, and it kind of motivates me. So I definitely agree with that, how it really does make a difference.
Yeah, you feel
And
like alone. You
yes.
know someone's thinking about you, and just that little bit, like there's like obviously so many other things that you can do or anyone can do, but for me that was the biggest thing.
Again, if you're listening today, please, please, please reach out, get help. There's different support systems. If you're already on social media, there's a lot of support groups out there. There's also a lot of people that are being more open about their journey. And I recommend that you follow those accounts, starting by Shauna. Follow her on her Instagram account so you can learn more about her. It is at Insights Through Experience. Follow her. And you also don't want to miss any upcoming posts from her. And Shauna and myself are both here. We are open about our stories. We welcome you to message us anytime, and we can point you to the best resources that we might know, or maybe to somebody else that can help you. And please, please, again, plenty of resources. Reach out. It really does make a difference versus you keeping it to yourself. It really does. So I am so glad you were here today. You have no idea what this means. And to everybody that's listening today, thank you for your support. We have so much support, right? Don't you agree? Yes, we got a lot of love for this live. And we lots of love for this live. And again, just thank you so much. And Shauna, thank you for being my guest here today. And before I let you go, is there anything else that you want to say to anybody that's listening today?
Yes. I want to thank you too as well for having me. It was an honor. Honestly, it really is. And I love what you're doing. So my message that I wanted to share is, it's a passage that I wrote myself. I think that a lot of people listening will be able to relate to this. And I basically wanted to share this because I feel like we go through a lot, and I want people to know that it's okay for them to grieve the person that they once were and the life that they lived, and basically to let them know that they can look forward to their future and who they are becoming and where their life is taking them. So this is it. I hope you guys like it. And so, yeah. So, we have died 1,000,000 times since this diagnosis has started. We have changed identities like people change their clothes, feeling like we have lived 1,000,000 years in just this lifetime, looking for who we are after things have been stripped away that once was all we ever knew, discovering and forging ahead in our newness, our altered state of being. It isn't familiar, growing pains, yet holding hands with grief, lost pain, trying to process all these feelings, emotions, and experiences. Overwhelmed most times, but still a deep sense of gratitude to still be here. Loving, living, hoping, wondering, always wondering, sincerely a person diagnosed with cancer.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And again, thank you again for being here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a blessed day, and goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Nora.
Bye.